As you can tell, I'm totally not used to talk to a microphone. Sitting here in my room, in my home studio, with a cup of tea next to me. But I think when this should be done, then today, to end 2025 this way and reflect on what I've achieved and what I've learned so far. If you're not familiar to my person, my name is MIKH. You can also call me just Mike. I'm from Switzerland and I'm a DJ and music producer. And I'm here basically just to improve my music to a very good level and finally release something on Spotify that I'm proud of, or also on another label. This is also, of course, an option. And yeah, today we will have a look at the beginning, at my achievements I've reached so far. And one of the biggest so far are finishing tracks. Basically every New Year's Eve I sat here and thought about how many tracks did I finish, and I finished barely one in a year. And in this year I think I've released probably 6 or something like that on YouTube, TikTok, and also Instagram. But in total I've done, I think, more than 20, mixed them and also mastered them for myself to improve, of course. And I think this is already the first step and also a very important step of my self-improvement. Then besides finishing tracks, I learned also a lot about bass itself. It was always hard for me to understand, like everyone was talking about sub bass, bass, and so on and so on. But now I think I finally understood what it is about, and also about first harmonics, second harmonics, and so on, what saturation basically is doing, just as a side info. This is quite an improvement, I would say. And next to that, of course, also sound design. That it doesn't even need to be complicated, since I've watched some kind of West End videos. I think there was a recent one he uploaded, and he basically just made a bass out of a silenth, which was insane for me. I always thought, like, on every bass there is so much sound design behind it, but actually it goes back to the basics. So yeah, this was quite interesting. And what else I've learned besides of bass, how this is made and so on, is about EQing. What my problem was is I EQ'd the stuff too far. Like, for example, for a clap, I cut them right where the frequency stopped, which is wrong in my opinion, because then it starts to sound harsh to me, and this ruined a lot of mixes. But I always went back to YouTube and everyone said the same, so also back in the days. Now it's, I think, a little better when it comes to that. And also in terms of EQing in mastering, I've learned also a lot, I think, which I can't really bring into words. I just need to show that. Then Also, very important topic I've learned also with referencing is the leveling of my sounds, like to have the right level, and to get to know the people what kind of instruments need to be up front and those that need to be in the back. And I found a very good video also on YouTube where one guy was telling about, I think it was the Cosmic Academy, to give credits to it. And he was talking about analyzing different kind of tracks, then have a look at the important instruments and rank them of importance. Importance means like the most important is up front. And then do this the same for the drums. And then you can adapt this technique to your track in order to sound similar, not similar like melody-wise and so on, but just mixing-wise, which is quite an improvement. And I think this is basic knowledge, but to implement that in your tracks, it's very hard, and you really need experience, I think, which I didn't have fully, but I'm on my way to there. So, and next to that, I think I've learned also a lot about mastering. I always thought, how can I get to these low LUFS values without sounding harsh? And I think with the last track I've created, I also posted on TikTok a video where I ask about how I can go even lower than 80 LUFS. I don't even need to. But I think on this track I've made the mastering very, very clean. And yeah, maybe I can also do some videos on that, but I don't think this is necessary at the moment, because most of the time I just do these kind of learning videos because I don't want to forget, which I will talk about later when it comes to my improvements. But I think this is a good way to end now the achievements and go now to not really important topics, but I think this is very nice to have a look at. And the first one is my best tracks. So my best tracks I've done this year, and I think one of them is the MIKH Beta 1 remix I've done. Sadly, I couldn't upload it on Soundcloud, but I could on YouTube. Maybe you have already heard it. And this was basically the first track where I achieved feedback from other people, like people even begging to release it or show the full track, which was kind of insane to me. And even though the mixing isn't that good, if I look back to it, it still goes back to the track itself, the melody, the feeling, which is quite nice to see, I think. So this means your mixing doesn't even need to be like fully on point in order to get heard by people. And then next to that is the second track, which I'm very proud of. Besides the bass, I'm not satisfied with the bass, no. But this one is the Take My Breath remix from The Weeknd. And I think this has a very good flow and sounds very modern to me. And I think I did a very good job on this one. So I'm very proud of these two. Maybe I can look back next year to these. And let's see now what we've got here. add the numbers. Maybe I can show you now also on the video itself my different kind of channels. So on YouTube I've got so far 25 followers with a maximum view of 2,220. I think this was even a recent video from MIKH Romero. It's just a remix of MIKH Romero Generation 303. And yeah, this looks very nice, I think. And I have a feeling once I've uploaded even more and more, especially shorts, I will get more views, which is very nice to see on YouTube, I think. Then on Instagram, I've got 34 followers. I've did there in total 28 reels, and I've made a maximum view of 428, which is also insane for me, because 1 year ago I had 125, I think, and this was already insane for me because I was totally new to Instagram, and in general to uploading stuff. I'm totally new, but this is still mind-blowing, right? And then on TikTok, it's similar, I think, to YouTube, 25 followers with just 1,406 views. And I think this the Take My Breath remix. And yeah, in total I've received there also 580 likes, which is also very insane. And very hoping for next year to go to the 1,000. That would be very, very nice, I think. So now, since I've talked about these numbers, I know these numbers are not important, not giving something to me, but it's nice to see how the channel is growing and to look back at these moments. Then if I will improve, you never know what will happen in life. Maybe I will do next year no videos or no music, and yeah, it's hard to tell, but I think it's a very nice point of view. So now, looking back now at what I've achieved, I still have some things I really want to improve. And this is, first of all, mixing itself. Mixing is still very important, I think, and I still want to achieve a very, very good quality. And in order to achieve that, I will learn from other videos, from other tracks. And sometimes I have like a phase where I do a lot of music, and sometimes I have a phase where I don't, and then go back to it, and then I keep forgetting things which are very important. And that's why I've started on TikTok, I think, TikTok and YouTube, doing some videos where I give tips. For example, with the kick one, this wasn't even really a video for other people. Actually, it was, if it helps to you, but it's more a video also for myself to remember this, you know. And yeah, this is very important for me. Mixing. Also, for example, reverb. I struggle still a lot with reverb. I'm still not sure if I use it too much, too less, but I still sometimes keep forgetting about reverb to add on the drums, on different instruments, even to create this kind of room feeling, which is very important in especially electronic dance music. So yeah, this is a topic I really want to improve. Then next to that, also making bass, for example, more alive, also lead sounds more alive by adding saturation, chorus, just subtle things that improve the mix little by little. And yeah, also something what I've learned recently too is that I just put my drums right on the grid and then put a sample in it and had a look at the grid, and it was totally off, not totally, but just a little off, that it sounded natural. And then I think from that moment on, my drums very improved. So this is really a topic I don't need to forget, and maybe I will do also a video on it to remember. Yes, and also when it comes to layering drums, I've heard from people saying the less drums the better, but I think this is not a good tip. I think you still need to layer in order to sound how high quality, you know? You can't just use one hi-hat in order to sound like full, to get this full spectrum. This sounds too cheap for these days, I think. Yes. And then another improvement I want to achieve is like the transitions, for example. I really want to improve there too. Having better transitions, more originality, and also like don't be too repetitive, which I've got a feedback last week too, that this melody I've did was too repetitive and went through the whole song, and something new needs to happen. And yeah, this is also very, very important. I need to improve. So yeah, a lot of things I want to look at next year. Maybe I will also go and buy Soundcloud Pro to see also how the people react to it, because I've seen some remixes on there that are, this shouldn't sound rude or so, but they sound very bad and they have a lot of likes. So I think I still can achieve something on SoundCloud itself too. And I think there's also an option to release on Spotify there, something, I don't know. And yeah, what I can do next year too is also maybe make an account on Label Radar, where I can also maybe release on a label. This will be very, very nice, but I won't set these kind of goals for next year. My main goals are just improve on the mixing, also on mastering, and I think this is quite feasible if I will keep on track. Yeah. So this was it for this video. I'm not sure if this was entertaining or not. If it was, let me know in the comments. And yeah, maybe we will do this as a yearly ritual and do this again next year. So have a nice end of 2025 and see you next year.